Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Grimm After Show at AfterBuzz TV. We're going to talk about werewolves, Adalind, Diana, all this and more on the Grimm After Show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to the AfterBuzz TV Grimm After Show. We're so excited to talk to you about Lycanthropia. I'm your host, Zach Wilson. Tweet me throughout the week, throughout the show at that Zach Wilson. Now let me introduce my fantastic panel.
Hey,
Tauri
I'm
Miller.
Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. It's Tauri-J-Y.
I'm waiting for you
Yael
to introduce
Tygiel.
it. Hi guys, Yael Tygiel here. You can tweet me at Yael Tygiel. That's Y-A-E-L-T-Y-G-I-E-L. And I'm in the chat with all of you. Happy Easter. Woo!
Yes, happy Easter. Let's talk about death by werewolves.
That sounds like Easter to me.
Yeah.
Right? That's not what Easter's about?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this holiday.
Yeah. Okay.
Lord Savior died, was scratched by a werewolf, rose again in wolf form.
That sounds right.
So we start with our opening quote.
Yeah, of course.
2 nights ago. No.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
But it threw me off for a second. I was like, is that the quote? Like, because I
so
usually the first
silly.
thing when I watch it, I like pause it because I write down the quote, and but it was 2 nights ago. They did like a little prologue.
Yeah.
To the episode.
Grimmaniac says this is the first episode of the history of the show that there was an opening scene before the quote.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That's what I thought.
Magic.
But the actual quote when they came in with it, the world is full of obvious things which nobody by chance ever observes. Which is Arthur Conan Doyle. It's a Sherlock Holmes quote.
Nice.
So picture it said by Benedict Cumberbatch, and you'll be good.
I like
The
it.
world is full of...
I was not going to try to like mimic Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict
Trust me, anyone who listens to the Sleepy Hollow after show and has heard me attempt British accents every week knows you don't want me going there.
You just gotta go really low and mumbly.
No.
Okay, let's talk
Way
about
off
Grimm.
topic.
Guys, let's talk about Grimm.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that prologue first, because this was great. This was awesome. It was like super short, but like one of my, like, it's mythology building for the show, and like driving stuff forward.
Nerd.
What?
I just love it. I love when you nerd out.
All right, calm down.
Gets me excited.
I'm talking to myself now.
Because I was getting excited.
But so Nick finally, like, well, you got excited, I'm imagining, because Nick, like, he goes down there in the middle of the night to work on the tunnel and then just, like, takes his shirt off and he's just like, bam, bam. And that was all before he left for the tunnel.
Yeah, I know. It was so good. Guys,
No, he was working on prying open the door.
yeah, so...
Tauri knows what I was doing.
Yeah.
This episode was written by our good friend, Jeff Miller, who was live in studio with us.
Yeah.
Which I think he listened to me finally when I said, "Hey, why is everyone wearing shirts? We should stop that." And that's
He
what
put
I
it in
think.
just for you. They went back, they redid the scene.
Yeah, I think when he was writing the scene, he thought, "You know what this scene needs? Him to take his shirt off." Yael would like this. Nick takes his shirt off. Although I will say something, and it's not just because I like him shirtless, but because it's weird. He was all sweaty down there, and then he puts his shirt on to come back up.
Yeah. So he doesn't, like, get scratched by all the old metal.
I would agree with that. Like, if you have to like climb through a bunch of rocks and like you might bump into the wall with a bunch of sharp things.
Yeah.
You don't want to like get cut by mystery rocks. Who knows what kind of diseases are down there?
And no one likes tetanus. Tetanus is bad.
I guess.
You guess?
I don't know.
But so the big thing is he goes down there with 2 purposes, and the first was to stash the stick of destiny, as I'm calling it. Like,
It was the magic box that holds possibly the stick of destiny, possibly.
the wrap of destiny.
What was the wrap of destiny? What was your theory about the stick?
That it was...
There's something about schlepping.
Oh, the rod of Asclepius.
Sure.
Again, I don't care to learn how to properly pronounce it. I like saying Schlep every week.
And, yeah, me too. And Yggdrasil is my option.
Yeah.
Now it's Russian.
Yes.
Probably
So-
both.
Yggdrasil.
I know a lot of people have said that they think it's a piece of Jesus's cross.
Yeah.
That doesn't just because I don't think we've addressed it on the show while we're talking about the stick. I don't think that's where they're gonna go with it.
Why not?
Dealing with like stuff with that directly into Christianity, like it was a piece of the cross, it doesn't feel like Grimm's style.
Right.
Yet explaining Hitler as some sort of Wesen does.
That's not religious. Dealing with a religious artifact like that and giving it metaphysical powers is a very big step to make in a show. It would be something that like Dominion would absolutely do.
So I disagree. I think that they could easily go that route without it having anything to do with Jesus. Right? Like it could have been Jesus' cross and it might have magical powers. But I think you can do that. Ironically, we're talking about this on Easter. And we could do that without it being, oh, Jesus had magic powers or whatever.
Well, but then if you essentially saying that this piece of this mythology has magic power says that mythology has truth in it, which means that you are endorsing that mythology.
And would it start to imply things like, was Jesus like a Zauberbeast, or was he this or that?
was
Like,
a royal.
Which I think is so much more interesting than
I
the
would
real
find it
story.
I would find it very interesting for that a path to go down. Remember, this is network TV, and I just don't think that that's the direction that they're going to take.
Network TV, which has, what is it, Exodus, and Gods and Prophets, and The Passion, and anything else? What am I forgetting?
Those are almost all on ABC.
Isn't The Passion? All right, moving on.
Either way, it's just
Shirtless Nick.
It's just not where I think the show's going with it. I could be wrong, and only time will tell.
James Foran in the chat, thank you, says the Grimms were Crusaders. Wouldn't the splinter of fate be part of the cross? Possibly.
I would agree that like that it would make sense for them to be hiding that. But again, like it would have to be that one thing, as opposed to like when we're saying, oh, it's Isidril, oh, it's the rod of Asclepius. Like it could be that one thing could apply to all of those different things at once,
Right.
as opposed to this one historical event, because you couldn't make that all of those. It just wouldn't work that way.
Okay.
Because that's a very specific, it's not a mystical object. That's like a one thing that was really there. Like regardless of whether anything around it was real or not, or magical or not, that thing existed.
Well, what if
as a large object.
What if instead of being like the cross, it's like a piece of the spear that like pierced his side or whatever? So then, because there have been a number of different spears throughout time and history and things of that.
That could be leaned on a little more. Yeah, because like it could have, like a staff could have been broken and turned into what we have now, which then was a spear, which before that was part of a tree, which before that, like all the,
Right.
I respectfully disagree.
I don't think
That's
that I don't think that's where we're going. I'm agreeing that it's a possibility.
Okay.
But anyway, he stashed it in the tunnel.
Yeah, he opened the tunnel, doesn't know where it goes. There's a real deep fall. This seems like a good place to hide an artifact.
He gets it open. I do agree with you that like once you know that there's like a passageway there, maybe you find a different space, because like who knows what or who is down there.
What's on the other side? The Crusaders. They're alive.
The 7 Grimm Crusaders just crawl out. Are unique.
We've been waiting. All right.
But so, I mean, he drops a rock down there as a test, and it just keeps going.
That was so funny.
I mean, I guess what would your guys' next step be? Like, I would think, like, for me, I would like take a rope, like some kind of rope and pulley system, and just lower a lantern down.
Yeah.
Like slowly.
I was thinking glow sticks.
I
watch Ocean's 11.
That would work too. That would be good.
I was thinking like a GoPro, or like a drone or something like that can kind of help you see what's down there.
A GoPro with like a little lantern on it. Like,
Yeah, but the drone, like I'm thinking Agents.
Oh yeah.
Thinking of
the dwarves.
Yeah, Fitz.
That'd be funny. But as we've seen in other tunnels on that show, when you throw things down there, that you could just lose signal, and then you're dead in the water anyway.
Or it would get eaten.
That's why you keep it on a rope.
Yeah.
Transmitting data back to your iPhone. That's how GoPros work.
No, I know.
Anyway. But so he's in, like, what do you, like, I want to theorize now and not wait for the end of the show. What do you guys think is down there?
Oh, I have no clue. It could be anything.
It literally could be anything.
It's like, what's in the box? Anything.
But it has to be
Another
something.
stick.
It has to be something under Portland. This isn't necessary. Like, this is where it's like kind of weird, because this isn't like a mystical place that Nick just happened to get as a home. It's like he bought this place.
Mm-hmm.
There happened to be a basement with a secret hatch.
Yeah.
I think it's a tunnel that leads to somewhere very important within Portland. I would imagine it's going to lead to either a Black Claw base or like directly into HW.
I was thinking the same thing. It doesn't make sense that it would lead us to the magic black portal. It's a magic portal. That's not how it works. Shield reference.
What?
It's totally a passageway
To
where Simmons was.
Hote.
Yeah.
All right, no spoilers for Shield.
You're a half a season behind.
Yeah,
Go on.
be respectful.
You be respectful.
I am.
Okay.
That's why I'm stopping you.
Narnia.
Tauri.
Everyone says water and
Tauri.
Narnia.
I feel like if it led to either HW or Black Claw's hideout, it would be too coincidental. Like, I would want it to be something where he goes down there, he finds the reason why all of this, like, stuff keeps happening in Portland. Like, Portland is a beacon for Vestin activity, and I'd like whatever the reason for that is to be down there.
That would be cool. I just like, basically, because he just like happened to buy this place, there wasn't, unless we learned that there was something behind him choosing this specific spot.
Right.
It almost anything that's too heavily to do with like him being a Grimm feels super coincidental.
Yeah.
So Amber in the chat says it sounded like water. Jalen says it's Narnia. Vanessa says maybe Shanghai tunnels. Also, Lydia, the Hellmouth is not down there. Trust us.
It's the Underground Railroad.
Atlantis. All sorts of.
All right, there's a lot of
theories.
there's a lot of possibilities.
Literally, it could the underworld.
Just like we still have
anything.
just like we still have a lot to talk about in this week's episode.
Yeah.
Because I want to move on from there, and I want to talk. We'll get to all the stuff with the lycanthropes and all that towards the second half of the show. But I want to talk about Adalind and Renard.
Throwing a wrench in the Adalind.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, you guys enjoying Adalind? Well, what do you think after this? I still like Adalind.
Yeah. I think Renard
I don't know why I got so angry.
I think Renard is just throwing her deeper into this Adalind thing, right? Like, the more he talks about Diana, the less she wants to be with him.
Well, he's putting her on the defensive, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, even if she was like having doubts, when somebody outside of it, especially an ex, comes in and is like, well, I don't think you're very happy with them. You're like, no, screw you. I'm totally happy. Like, back off me. I don't know. That's how I imagine. That's sort of like my sum up of this scene is like how Adalind went about it. He's like throwing her other exes in there. You know, Meisner.
Stop ruining things, Renard. I cannot wait to see her, even with half her powers back, even with whatever powers she has back now, going to Meisner and being like, you jerk. That's going to be so fun to see. Her angry and him on the defensive. I'm so excited. It sounds so hot.
Why was she mad? Why would she be mad at Meisner?
Because she just discovered that Meisner was involved in the abduction of her daughter and returning her to the Resistance.
That he's like talked to her since then. Has made contact with like everyone around her and has not mentioned the fact that since that he has seen her daughter more recently than she has.
Yeah, like took care of the king for her, took the daughter, made sure she was safe.
But didn't bring her back to her mother.
Also didn't tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, and I think it is worth noting how much quicker, and not that it's unreasonable for her to get mad at Renard here, but how much quicker she does get mad than we've seen her recently, where she's been very she's been very soft spoken and like trying to get things done, like more or less like stressed because she's dealing with a baby, but more or less happy and reserved. This is Adalind as we've known her. She's very quick to anger. She force pulls over her water.
I don't remember what it is that she says when she gets up to walk out, but like at that moment I went, oh man, she's Hexen Beast.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much back. Kendall in the chat says, yes, Meisner, Adalind, Smackdown. And David suggests that maybe Adalind will kill him. David, you're in the wrong show. Wrong show.
Adalind will kill who? Meisner?
Yeah. Wrong show. David. Sorry, my Hexen Beast is coming back.
Your Hexen Beast?
Yeah, I'm getting angry. Go on.
Oh, no. I thought you were like, never mind. I don't know.
Yeah, because she's in love with Adalind's Hexen Beast, and her Hexen Beast is coming back.
Anyway, I do, but yeah, I know you must have been laughing, or at least with a big smile when it was maybe I should live with both of you. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that sounded great. The Adalind plus Renard family. Oh man!
I mean, they're gonna have some
Nadalard.
real awkward family
Nadalard.
reunions as the years progress.
Well, I mean, before Juliet died, it seemed like that was where we were headed, was this weird threesome family with Adalind and Juliet and Nick, because Adalind was pregnant with a baby, right? So that's where we thought we were headed. So it only makes sense that if Diana comes back, we're going to have this Kelly, Diana, Renard, Nick, family. It
My
takes a
kid could
village.
beat up your kid
Guys, it takes a village.
It's true.
to raise half sibling
Yeah.
Though
kids.
it depends on the nature of Diana's return. If she comes back as this like killing machine in the same vein as Eve, then no one's raising her because she's already become a monster. But like if she is someone who does need to be taken care of and she's just kind of like floating from house to house, then yeah, we can have this like Three's Company deal going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the other thing is that, remember, he said that Diana is with the Resistance,
Right.
not with HW. And
Right.
those
Right.
two are not the same thing.
Correct.
So I'm very curious why he returned her to the Resistance. As a member or a leader in
HW.
another like organization that may or may not be on the same side as the Resistance, but like it seems weird to like that he's double dipping a little bit at this point.
Oh, I feel like he's always been double dipping. And
Yeah.
so Amber suggested that maybe Meisner can help Adalind control her Hexen Beast like he did with Eve, which makes me think that if Diana was brought into HW, then she would have been trained to be a weapon. And he, because of his feelings for Adalind, wanted to make sure that her daughter was taken care of
Nice.
and not trained to be a weapon.
Meisner, you big old softy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vanessa says Adelind's is the real Hexen Beast, and she will use her powers to protect her children.
Yeah. Well, the big thing that is going to throw a wrench to whatever Renard is trying to do here is his decision. He now has to make a decision about whether or not he's going to run for mayor. And he's got Rachel pressing him on it with the push from like, that wasn't Lucian on the phone, right?
That was a new voice.
That was because there was like a very heavy accent that I couldn't quite place. Like for a moment, I thought it was like an African accent, but then it might have been like I don't think it was German or Austrian. Like
Well, definitely wasn't Meisner. That much
No.
I can tell you.
but I was trying to place it, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any ideas?
I think it's going to be the leader of Black Claw.
That's how it
The
seemed.
real
Yeah.
leader.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed, in terms of identifying the accent, it seemed closer to Haruno? Yeah. Hanano? Yep.
Hanano?
Hanano, yes. Seemed closer to his accent.
I was like, what are you trying to say?
Trying to remember
Marwan?
Yes, Marwan. Seemed closer to his accent than anything.
So, a Middle Eastern accent?
I guess so.
Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, Big Bad must be Middle Eastern?
Yeah.
Okay, just clarifying.
All right, we're going to move on. But yeah, I think either way, like, this has to be, if not the higher up, like the highest up, the leader of Black Claw, one of the, like, main council of people. Who's, like, a step above Lucian. Like, Lucian's, like, the local leader.
Right.
Like, he's in charge of, like, maybe not even just Portland, but, like, the western United States. Like, maybe he has that much territory.
Sure.
But he's definitely just, like, almost like a lieutenant. And
Right.
this is, like, a general or, like, just below.
I
Yeah.
would like to see HW's sorry, HW's map.
H-Claw's the name.
Their map of the Black Claw and like how it's broken up, because then we would know where Lucian is in charge of. Like, I want to see what they got so
Yeah.
that we can understand what's happening.
All right.
Right?
Yeah. When are they going to use all the plot points to triangulate? It's nice.
The Dr. Claw.
Yeah.
James Foran says,
Yes, James Foran says, it's Dr. Claw.
Oh, my God.
And Lydia Cabreros says, go, Gadget, go. Anyways, I'm wondering when they're going to use, like, when we're going to find out what the hierarchy is inside of Black Claw. I mean, because right now we've had a assortment of people who seem like leaders. Like, we had the guy who died earlier in the season when they were trying to trap Nick, who was then replaced by Lucian, and then there's someone above Lucian. So, like, I really want to know what the infrastructure is of this organization.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very interested. Like, they haven't really gotten into either one's, like, organizational, like, setups.
Yeah.
Right.
We only have the ground level of HW. We only have the ground level of Black Claw. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to it. We have plenty of episodes left to get into it. That's the beauty. Like, we're only on, what, episode 15?
oh, we have so much left. Yay.
Yeah.
14. We're on 14.
Got excited, sorry.
Even more. We've, like, I guess that leaves us with, what, 8 episodes
About.
Yeah.
to go?
And they're filming the final episode now.
Oh, nice.
Scoop.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's it. That's my scoop.
Cool. But so Eve also has she breaks into Renard's place, or to Rachel's place, I'm
Rachel's.
sorry.
Yeah.
To snoop, and, like, she finds the poster.
That poster.
Come on, I mean, I did it too. Come on, Black Claw. Get a better graphics design program or department.
I've decided that poster is currently framed and Sasha owns it. Like, I'm positive
That would be funny.
Sasha
Yeah.
has that.
If I was Sasha, I would want to take that home
Right?
too, or at least get, like, I'm like, guys, can you make a print for me?
Oh no, I would
Yeah.
get that one framed and take it home and be like, this is.
Well, I guarantee you they have at least, like, 2 or 3 on set just in case it gets creased or something. So, like,
yeah, I know
yeah.
how production works.
whatever.
Yeah, I know how TV works. Go on.
But yeah. Anyway, now I want one, like, signed by Sasha. Like, that's, like, I want that on my wall.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, let's work on that. Wait, what?
I said I'll see what I can do.
All right. But so, any other, like, so she has it. She passes that info off to Nick, and they all are basically, because she's basically, look at the date
Yeah.
on the label. It's like, because she knows, like, they obviously had this ready. We know that.
Yeah.
But do you think they don't trust the captain? They seem to mostly. They don't think he was behind the assassination anyway.
Right. I think it's clear. Well, first off, I think it's clear that Eve is really good at her job, right? Like, as much as we laugh about how silly those wigs look and how clearly they stand out,
Yeah.
like, they're not subtle wigs.
Worst spy wigs.
Yeah, but she's really good at her job, which is ironic because I feel like Juliet never went to work. But Eve is so good at her job that she discovered this. And I think that it's not that they don't trust Renard. It's that they see that Black Claw has reached out to him or has been, trying to turn him. So that he, although at this point they don't not trust him, they might in the future be hesitant.
Yeah. I mean, they've made lots of strides. Like, he was a bad guy. But, like, they've been on so many adventures with him, and he's helped them so much that, like, it would be weird if they just immediately turned on him. So they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they're going to ask what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see what he does with that. I still maintain my prediction from, it was last week or 2 weeks ago, that he's going to do it, but he's going to be a double agent. And maybe we're left questioning which side he's really on.
Yeah.
Because I bet you both, it's one of those like triple agent type deals where like both sides know that he's working with both sides.
Right.
And only he knows who he's going to actually betray.
Right.
Frank in the chat says Juliet was invisible. Oh, I thought he was saying Eve was invisible. Like, oh, right, she's invisible.
The one thing I'll say about the wigs is I guess like because Juliet was
a member of the community
of Portland, like it helps hide her so that you don't have somebody like, Juliet, I haven't seen you, like what happened? My cat's sick.
Yeah. I think that when she wears the hood or when she like has her hair wrapped in the glasses, I think that like the black wig with those things much more discreet.
Yeah. And then the bright white one.
The bright white one, the bright red one, the pink one. Like, girl, they're bright colors. What are you thinking?
She just wants to look good while she's spying.
I know. Trying to be fashionable, Yael.
Or maybe it's like...
Clearly, I don't know fashion.
Maybe it's like the whole thing where sometimes in stories when strong characters go into battle, they always have like a big bright thing to be a beacon so that their teammates don't get attacked as much. So that since they are strong, everyone will automatically go to them so that blah, blah, blah protection.
Is that a thing?
That's it's a big thing.
I'm clearly not a warrior.
Yeah.
All right, things. Yay.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, so... let's keep moving forward.
Do we want to talk about, did I want to share the Rachel Wood stuff now or later?
Yeah, let's do, we should do that now.
Okay. So thank you to Grimmaniac who sent me amazing Rachel Wood info. Rachel Wood, the redhead for everyone who's like the ginger. We have the article from the Portland Tribune that Eve found. I got some excerpts. So, Rachel said, I felt a calling to make a bigger difference in the world. And she says, I remember being a kid and seeing the Berlin Wall come down, and it was a huge event. Everyone was talking about it, and I finally asked my dad what bringing down that wall meant, and he told me how history was made overnight without anyone firing a shot. Ever since then, I was fascinated by how the world would change if the right people in the right place said the right things.
Yeah.
So, like, basically, she's in this article, which the headline is Rachel Wood, Rising Star, from law firm to campaign trail. And she basically is like, hey, I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
I'm going to tear down a wall.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Hadrian's wall.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, thank you to Grimmaniac, Daniel, for sending us a little bit of insight into her motives and reasoning for being part of Black Claw.
It's another piece of evidence that just like that Black Claw, for all their bad, like,
for bad methodology.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They are ultimately fighting something that could be could be perceived rather as the good fight. Like if they're fighting for freedoms, like Vesson have to live in secret. Who would want to live like that? Like having to hide the potential, like for most of them, the biggest part of who they are. Right. Keep it in secret. Like that's the thing. Is like I'm sort of if they are truly fighting for what we think they are, that like they want to out Vesson to the world.
Right.
I'm sort of on their side. It's just that I'm not for the way that they're going about it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it all season. It's so silly that the show that we are on the wrong side of history in this show.
But it's a very interesting perspective to have.
Yeah.
Like when the good people are fighting the wrong side for the right reasons, and there are people fighting the right side for all the wrong reasons.
Who knew? Who knew that Grimm would be such a deep frickin' show?
Us. Why do you think we've been
That's why
watching
we're
it
here.
for 5 seasons?
Oh, right, because it's a deep show. That's why we
And our
watch.
awesome followers, who
Yeah.
I'm going to give some shout outs to right now.
Yay!
They know how awesome
Woo!
this show is. And we got 2 more reviews on iTunes. So thank you guys for going and right in there. You can go onto iTunes, hit us with a 5-star review. It always makes our day better. And it's a great way to help out the network, raise the visibility of the show so that more fans can find it and more people can enjoy it like you do.
And more guests.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it does help us with guests. We've got some more that we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
We're constantly working to get more guests in here. That's how we got like Jeff Miller a few weeks ago, who wrote today's episode. It's all thanks to you. And I want to thank specifically AJH2765GHT1283.
What was it?
No. Who said, wonderful. I love your podcast. You guys are the best. And JJ4852 says, fun times. New listener to the last couple of months. Your enjoyment of Grimm makes me look forward more to each Friday. Keep up the good work. I enjoyed Zach on the Muppets AfterBuzz show. Wonderful host. Tauri and Yael are great analysts. One question. Does Tauri do other AfterBuzz shows?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I'm on the Supergirl After Show, the Flash After Show, the Arrow After Show, and the Grimm After Show. Also the 100.
All right.
Also, we have a big shout out from
Yeah.
our good friend Michael, who came to see us at WonderCon. So
Yeah.
big shout out, thank you,
He
Michael.
found us at WonderCon, and like, it was cool to meet you.
Yay.
Thank you for watching all the time and
Yeah.
being a fan.
That's right, guys. See us at cons. Come say hello.
Yeah, if you see us wherever, come say hey.
Yeah, I like people.
That was frightening. Yael's like eyebrows just now. I'm gonna move further away. But you know what we should stay further away from?
Yeah.
That we gotta talk about real quick.
Yep.
Is lycanthropes.
Yep.
Yep.
So the Vestin of the week this week was basically the grim version of werewolves, which is cool. I thought this was a perfect way to tackle that myth. It's a disease that affects only Bloopbot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea of bringing it in this way. I love the idea that we've had werewolves, or at least wolves, since the beginning of the show, but we've never tackled the actual like moon howling werewolves. So, what season are we in? Season 5? That's awesome.
Well, because we didn't need to, and
I
they
know.
didn't need to force in werewolves or anything. Like,
Right.
I'm sure people assumed just getting attacked by Bloopbot at random times, like that they were a werewolf, but there are some that do tie to the moon or are more powerful because of the moon.
Right.
Is very interesting. I really liked the beats of this storyline, because just when I thought I was like, oh, so like, yeah, that guy's the werewolf, like, whatever, I
Right.
get it, and they twisted it, and I didn't see that twist coming at first.
You didn't see that it was a mom? You didn't see that it was a mom?
I mean, I got it maybe a little before they like announced it on the show. But I thought they were just going with the basic pace. It surprised me.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like shocking. I wasn't like, oh my god, I could not believe it. But it was like, oh, cool, nice, cool twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Grim Werewolves? Sorry.
I thought it was cool, like, because we've had other Vessin that are specifically affected by certain conditions, like the Crimpus and the what was it? They were like the Gremlin kids. Yeah,
The ones who ate the fruitcake.
Yeah.
So Christmas.
So
Yeah.
Christmas.
And Easter.
So I like that was a way to kind of further this whole thing, and like kind of like what you guys are saying, that it's we've had wolves this whole time, but to know like the origin of the mythology was really nice. Also, I liked the guy who played the son. He seemed like a cool guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
Well, he reminded me of Milo Ventimiglia.
Ventimiglia?
Yes, Ventimiglia.
Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah.
Peter Petrelli.
So I want to see him in more
Also.
things. Yes.
I really liked the almost Nope. Being Human. The
Yes.
Being Human comparisons we were talking about it. That they have that the mom has the like cage in her basement, which is also kind of like Buffy, where Oz had to be locked up.
Yeah.
So I really like being able to compare it to other shows that have werewolves because I like TV.
Yeah, no, I mean it was good. Like it was like the interesting side of like where they going into like the history of it, where like any children who had this disease, like they would like their parents would like put them down because it was considered so dangerous.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Up.
No, but that's
funny.
like, but it's dark. Like that's what medieval times was like, not the restaurant.
I was like, let's eat there.
No, but,
You go and they just take out your kid.
but like in the middle.
diseased.
Jeez. In
Totally eat there.
Guys, no, like in the Middle Ages, I should have said in the Middle Ages, like it was not the nicest time. Like things like that would be enough of a reason to just take the, because like you've got to look out for the entire family, and that would be an incredibly dangerous because they are not controllable.
Yeah.
But like we're in the modern era, you don't do that anymore. Now you just lock them up once a month for every night for 3 days.
Yeah. Or you drag a chicken around in the forest, and then they essentially sniff it until the morning.
I will say I know that like the son comes back every month and all that, but I'm almost a little surprised that she didn't like. They like make a point that the family has a lot of money. Mm-hmm. They come from like old Portland money, and they have this big house and stretch. And it's like
Reinforce the door.
This day and age, like, wouldn't you think like reinforce? Well, they said that the part of why it broke was that not that it wasn't reinforced, but that like it hadn't been latched properly because it had to be done from the outside.
Right.
Install it like an automatic like electronic door that like locks for 12 hours once you go inside.
Yeah.
Also-
I feel like if you've got money, that and like this is like your life.
Yeah.
That's an investment piece.
But also, like, as we're seeing the door break, I'm like, girl, you have not updated that door in years.
Yeah. Though
Girl.
I feel like buying what you're talking about puts you on a list somewhere, though. If you're like, hey, I'm going to buy this reinforced, like, time-sensitive lock that's electric and stuff, someone's going to be like, that guy's murdering people.
No. They have money, therefore rich people have panic rooms. That's totally reasonable.
But, like, this cabin out in the middle of the woods. All right, yeah.
You don't know.
I don't. I don't even know what it's like having money.
Girl, reinforce the door.
Well, we're asking for a lot of like help for her to stay safe.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you guys as we talk, like, and we'll talk about this as we go into predictions. Woo got scratched. Predictions. What's going to happen to him? Predictions.
Your
There it
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So Woo's sick. Potentially, he's got some kind of fever because of the moon.
Yeah.
Are we getting a woo wolf?
A wolf?
A werewolf.
A werewolf?
I think that would
Team
be
effort.
interesting.
We got there.
I think it'd be interesting, mostly because, especially now that we're kind of heading toward the latter half. I guess we're in the latter half of the season. We've just had an episode before this one where a normal person kind of almost becomes a Vessin, and now we have Wu who stands to potentially become a Vessin as well. So like, now the line between human and Vessin is getting blurred. We can kind of move into this storyline about this organization that wants Vessin and humans to live I guess, happily ever after. But what is the word I'm looking for? Integratedly. They want to live integratedly.
In an integrated society.
Yeah.
Gramaniac says it's a wootbad. Blootbot? Wootbot.
A woot button, yes.
Sorry. Somebody points out, Amber points out, the infection doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because let's break it down. The lycanthrope disease only affects Blootbot. Mm-hmm. So being scratched. I'm not saying we can make new rules. I'm just saying so far the rules we have are that a human being scratched.
I don't think they say that it doesn't affect humans. Just that, like, you can only be born with the condition. Because that's the thing is the lycanthrope blutbot are born with that condition. It's not something that you like get. But
if you survive an attack, you can become.
But werewolf myths
suggest
that getting bitten or scratched by a werewolf will make you a werewolf. Maybe it doesn't go that far, but it could make him sick.
Yeah.
Like maybe it doesn't make him a blutbot, but maybe it does make him a lycanthrope. So he can't vogue as a blutbot, but once a month he becomes he goes insane or goes full distance and becomes a lycanthrope blutbot for just 8 hours at a time.
Once a month with the rotation of the moon, sometimes you get real moody, you go insane, you bloat, you get angry. You want sweets. I get it. I see
There's
where he's
a lot
going.
of blood.
Yeah. Thank you for that one. Makes total sense. Everyone in the chat, or a lot of people in the chat predicted that obviously the stick is going to cure him from this problem. I would like to see the stick not cure this problem.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing is you can heal the wrong way. Just like a bone can set wrong, it might heal the scratch. But not cure the disease. So it'll be very interesting to see how they use that power and what it actually does to Wu as we go forward. And with that, it's to leave you with in your mind for another week. That has been the Grimm After Show at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I've been your host, Zach Wilson. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at that Zach Wilson, ThatzachWilson. And also hear AfterBuzz on a whole bunch of shows, including Sleepy Hollow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Daredevil. So excited to be talking about all these shows. Guys, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ, TauriJay, and all of the shows that I listed earlier in the show.
Awesome.
Yael Tygiel.
Hey guys, you can find me online at yael.tv. That's yael.tv. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Make sure you check out YouTube because there are interviews from this weekend at WonderCon with a lot of amazing shows. Also, I have a podcast. Yay, it's free. It's on iTunes. It's called Intimate Interrogations. It's as dirty as it sounds sometimes. So check it out. Free. Intimate Interrogations. That's it.
All right, guys, we are the Grimm After Show, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.